I'll call the April 24th Caribou City Council meeting to order. The first item on our agenda tonight is public input. And we have Dwayne Terrio on here for one. Yep.
Hello, my name is Dwayne Terrio Jr., Caribou, Maine. I apologize for leaving abruptly last time I was here. I have come to an agreement and acquired some money for the amount that I've gotten from Wanda last Thursday. I don't know if it's the same amount that you have. This came from Wanda herself. For $46,4807.
All right, and you have the...
I've got the cash to pay. I can pay it tomorrow, if you'd allow me till tomorrow.
All right, we'll put that on the other business here at the end of the council meeting then. We'll deal with it at that time. All
So,
right.
I'm good
For right now.
right now. So I should stay? Okay.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Thank you.
Anyone else with public input tonight? Okay. Any conflicts of interest from any of the city council? Sorry, do you have some?
I wasn't sure it was the right time to speak or not. The date that was set for the check to be delivered to the city was the 1st. It took a little bit more time to make an arrangement with ACAP through HUD. I'll have the check on the 2nd or the 3rd. I believe you have the letter from HUD. If not, I have it here. I brought it to their attention here last week when I got it, and $1,500 will be paid Tuesday or Wednesday, and another $500 will be paid. I've already paid $500, and another $500 will be paid on the 3rd. He said I believe that'll meet the $2,000, and then the arrangement for the other 3 payments for June, July, and August. Of $350.
I talked to ACAP, and they do have that check available.
Well, this is different than what we have on the books for the scenario, so it'll have to be changed at the end of the council meeting as well.
I'm sorry? At the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Hi there. My name is Brian Colton. I own Colton Associates Incorporated in Presque Isle. I'm a real estate appraiser. I'm also a resident of Caribou. I'm here tonight to support your tax assessor, Penny Thompson. I believe all of you must or should have received an email that I sent to you generally detailing why it's important that we get the city tax records available online. So I'll be here for when it becomes the agenda item. I'm happy to offer any input, but I hope you would all vote positively in that regard.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? All right. Any conflicts of interest from any of the city council regarding any of the agenda items? No. Consent agenda. Approval of the March 23rd, 2017 City Council Workshop Minutes. Approval of the April 10th, 2000 City Council Meeting Minutes. Approval of quitclaim deeds. And approval of the rubbish hauler licenses.
Move the slate.
Second.
All those in favor? I noticed council was given the financial reports for March. They're not on here, so we'll have it at the next meeting, and I would like to see the Director of Finance here when we go over those, so that if anybody has any questions, we can get them answered. Okay? Thank you. Next item is the public hearing for the retail marijuana ordinance. we have I better open the public meeting before I talk about it. We'll declare the public hearing open at 6:06. And this is what has been forwarded to us from our planning board, and the ordinance is prohibiting recreational marijuana. It's not suggesting we have it, it's prohibiting it, just so everybody understands. The purpose and intent of this is the ordinance is to propose a ban on the operation of retail marijuana establishments and retail marijuana social clubs in the city of Caribou to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the people of Caribou, as these activities constitute a nuisance. So the public hearing is open. Anyone that would like to speak can come to the microphone and give their name and,
I'm Charles Marcheteer.
sorry,
Address would be appreciated.
name and
also.
address, I guess, please.
Okay, I'm Charles Marcheteer. I live in Presque Isle, 17 Twilight Drive. I am the founder and one of the head administrators of Canopy Life. It's a nationwide nonprofit organization. We represent Maine and Green Cross, and we are against any prohibition of marijuana.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
How you doing? I'm Maurice Womack. I live in Caribou, 15 Bog Road, Caribou. I'm representing Richardson Reynolds at this moment. What I want to talk about is the benefits of removing the ban. We have an establishment that patients come to, licensed patients with the state of Maine, and it's a safe, discreet, and private environment. Now, if you were to keep this ban in process in effect, there's going to be, like, by proxy, a black market. That's going to be more criminal than letting a one retailer sell it or a couple into. You figure if people can't get it at a retail establishment, they're going to get it somewhere. And not everybody has the money to get a recommendation, or not everybody qualifies. Some people are veterans. They say veterans, they need it for like pain and other things. The ban would also inhibit any kind of tax revenue that could be taken off of this. Also, there's also movement for outside companies to invest. And that's also another thing that you can tax off of. I'm really a little bit nervous because I don't stand in front of people. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Also, within 2 years, we can at least have up to 50 jobs available. So I'm pretty sure that in this area we need more jobs than anything. And as far as it saying it being a nuisance, I don't consider it a nuisance. A nuisance is if you're out to do, I don't know how to explain it, but something that bothers the public at all times is what a nuisance to me is. We're in a discrete area away from the city, so it wouldn't be like we'd have an establishment right in the middle of town. Everybody can go on the outskirts of town, take care of the business privately, and go home, instead of having like somebody going, 5 or 6 people going to some guy doing it in the black market. That's pretty much what I needed to say about it. I think that it'd be more in the interest of our town to not have that ordinance in place. Thank you.
Anyone else?
My name is Artavius Jury, resident of Caribou, 9 Bog Road. I would like to just get a feel on why the planning board prohibited the ordinance, I guess you would say. Just because of negligence and, you know, just it being a danger to the community, which, I mean, in my eyes, there's so many other dangers to the community as we are standing right now. From, if you go to the Tiki, there's drunk people leaving there every night. I mean, you got this new bar with the warehouse where, I mean, there's I mean, I left there the other night and seen people getting cars drunk. And that's social, you know, that's like a social thing. And marijuana, I'm not aged in any way, but from what I've seen, I have never seen anybody stumble anywhere, you know, high or on marijuana. You know, like I don't see them getting out of control, or, you know, there's no negligence. There's no, you know, I feel it's a social thing, and being the year that we're in, 2017, you know, in Caribou, ever since I was a child. I mean, I lived here when I was a kid, went to elementary school and stuff, so I didn't, you know, really see much, but I never remember what I seen when I was a kid. This place was lit up. Like, every week there was people walking on the streets, and now, like, there's not that much. It's just why? It's Caribou. You know about it, but you don't go to it because it's Caribou. It's northern Maine. And I feel with medical or any marijuana establishment that you're going to have a outlet for people to come here and to see, like, this place is beautiful. Besides marijuana, I mean, if you come here and you go snowmobile and you go four-wheel and you go out in the woods, it's a beautiful place. And it's a beautiful place for people to come and to see that, you know. And I feel it would bring people here, because when I was a kid, there was people here. Now, it's, if you guys don't agree with me, then you need to come outside, because it's dead. No one comes around. There's no business. No one wants to start a business out here. And if you do, it's family owned, and it's just a redesign of a business that someone else did that just died off. And I feel it would bring a lot of positive things for revenue, for social, for everything. I mean, it would just, I really think you guys should rethink it. And if you guys ever want to, you know, speak to me about it, and because I study all over the U.S. on how this is going, and I feel where we're at right now, so beginning, just starting it, if we just let the door open, the possibilities are endless. So that's all I got to say there.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Aisha Realpel. I live in Caribou, 10 Caribou Street. I would like to say I get a lot of info on my phone about marijuana all around the world. I know they legalized it in Canada. You can actually have at least 30 grams on you, and you know you won't get in trouble as long as you're, I believe, 21 years older. I do want to say there's another place, I believe it's Colorado, I might be wrong, but I know there's a lot of other drugs that are going around that are being used, like opiates and all those other things, and it has brought that rate down now that they have passed a law for legal marijuana use. And I'm thinking, and I know there's a lot of drugs that go around Caribou, and there's a lot of kids getting into it, and our biggest fear is for our children not to use drugs. I have 5 kids of my own, so that is one of my biggest fears. They're still young. My oldest is only 14. And I do not want children using drugs. But if it's going to benefit them and they have it where their doctor has prescribed it to them, I think just like every other medicine that is prescribed, they should be able to take what, you know, benefits them the most.
Just to clarify one point, this ordinance has nothing to do with medical marijuana.
Okay.
That is all
Okay.
as it is now, so.
Okay. But with that being said, that will be all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another thing too, marijuana is legal already, you know, so.
But you have to be 21, it's not for kids.
Woo! Hold on, I gotta take a deep breath. I'm kind of nervous. I ain't gonna stop. You know what I mean? I'm Darrell Richardson. Live at 9 Bog Road. Pretty much came here to say by passing this, it's gonna bring, you know, economic development, more businesses up here. I haven't talked to investors myself who want to invest in what I have. I have over 120 acres. I mean, I don't know what else to really do with it than to try to, you know, make marijuana facilities and everything. I'm not like a potato farmer or growing lettuce or anything like that. But like, if there were facilities out there, I'm pretty sure y'all guys can tax those. And as big as the facilities will be, I mean, it's going to be like over 100 jobs available right there, just in trimming alone. And for other farmers or whatever that grow in there. Another thing I want to say is Holton passed it right now. I'm pretty sure y'all know that. And since they have passed it, they've been selling land on that airport like hotcakes. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure if we did something the same way, the same thing will come over here. And another thing, they already have investors already buying up all the recreational slots and everything as we speak right now, like behind the scenes. So, I mean, if y'all guys was to wait on it and then pass it next year or whatever, there's not going to be any more slots available for us to take advantage of it in Caribou. So I know in Holton, they got 2 30,000 square foot buildings that they're going to be building over there. And everybody's just going to be going to Holton. You know what I mean? They're going to be getting all the money. We ain't going to be getting no money. Like he said, it's kind of dying up here. You know what I mean? No offense, it is dying. I came up here when I was young, and I lived over there in Limestone, and there was a lot of people over there. They had the Rock and Bowl stores. Now you go to Limestone, it's dead. It's like the apartment that I stayed in, there's nobody living there, you know? And I feel like if we don't jump on this, we're just going to miss it, and then this place is just going to kind of be still dwelling. It's falling, I believe, you know what I mean? So, I mean, marijuana is going to come whether you guys like it or not. It's just that if you guys want to get on the board and try to make this money, that's pretty much it. So, that being said, I think that's all I got to say, really. I mean, what do you guys feel about it? Do y'all guys, you know, like the marijuana thing, or y'all look against it? Or, that's a question, y'all.
We'll get into that when the public hearing's over, I guess.
All right, I just kind of wanted some kind of interaction so I can, like, you know what I mean, talk and flow, whatever. But, I mean, that being said, let me see what else I got on my little key points on here. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, that being said, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
My name is Bob Green, and I live here in Caribou. And I've been into quite a few accidents in my life, tractor-trailer truck accident, and some other medical problems. But I'll tell you, and I'm also an alcoholic, sober. I do things I've learned from other people. But with the marijuana, I don't believe everybody's calling it a drug. But this is not a drug. It is a medical herb. And everything that the doctors have prescribed to me for any kind of pain pill, all it did was make me want to sleep, be negative, live negative. You are not even, don't even know where you are at. That is a drug. And I believe that this council, if everybody had, it's a lot of disagreement about it, then you need to get online and really focus and see what this plant will do for people. This plant will help people in many, many ways, and also get a lot of other drugs off the street. The drugs, the pain pills, and everything else. With pain pills, people don't know who they are, where they are, or what they're doing. With medical marijuana, I smoke it. I've been smoking it for 35 years, 40 years. And I'll tell you, I am grateful that there is somebody here that cares enough to help the people in this area and bring something to this area. I moved up here in '87 from Massachusetts, and I thought it was a thriving community. And it can be. You want businesses, but you don't want businesses. Everything is being pushed from Caribou over to other areas because of something. Yes, we all have disagreements, but I am glad that this dispensary is here so that my dollars are not going up to Eagle Lake. My dollars are not going somewhere else. And it's also saving the taxpayers money on my medical bill. And I appreciate anybody to support this because it is definitely a plus to this community and this town. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian Morgan, 23 Ball Grove. I do pretty much housing maintenance where I'm at, and I see the benefits from, okay, so what if they say, okay, yeah, let's pass this thing. Let's see what you guys can do. So if we build a 30,000 square foot facility, give 100 jobs. I don't know if there's enough people up here to fill 100 jobs. Maybe there isn't. Maybe it's bringing people from out of state, coming here, buying the properties, paying the taxes. And it's not only going to benefit the taxes, it's going to benefit people that need the jobs right now. And I'm sure there's people that need jobs that are coming to the town saying, hey, I can't work, there's no work. You guys need to help me. So then it's going to be a place where, okay, you guys can't find a job, well, then we're going to offer jobs. We're going to offer, and another thing too we want to offer, we want to take that 120 acres, and we want to say, okay, so if this is the ordinance. If you guys got to grow, you're going to be able to grow in this one place instead of having it in their backyard, front yard, you know, so people can't see it. And it's going to be all contained with fencing, everything. I think the most important thing is going to be the jobs and the revenue and the money. Because if it's going to make that 30,000 square foot building is going to work, we're not going to stop there. Because we got investors that, okay, well, we want to build a 30,000 square foot. You know, and it could be, you know, it could be just like the potato farms around here. Everywhere you go, it's potato farms, everything. That could be the same thing. And the only thing that's going to do is draw the businesses. If you have more people moving in, you need more restaurants, you need more shopping centers. And the people's just not up here. That's why they're not doing it. I mean, it's just, there are not enough people to do that here. And, I mean, everybody I know Madawaska said no. Everybody means Madawaska. Fort Kent, I'm not really sure. They haven't decided, but, I mean, people are already looking for investors. Like Fort Kent, I know some people that are looking to invest out there because I think they're going to pass it. And, I mean, I think it's really important to focus on what it's going to do for the jobs. I mean, marijuana, they say it's a nuisance. Yes, it might be. Everything's a nuisance. Bars, you know, people want to go out and have a good time. They're going to go out and have a good time. Well, the bars close at 1. You got 3 bars and 4 bars in Caribou. I mean, they're all in the same location. Okay, it's a big ruckus at night. I mean, I've been there. I've been at 1:30 and seen everything going on. And they're going to drive. I mean, people are just going to drive. They're going to do things. But, I mean, as a nuisance, I say, no, if it's under control, I don't think it will be a nuisance. It's got to be under control. And that's what we want to offer, a control place where we can say, okay, it's going to happen here, but it's not going to leave here, you know what I mean? That's our point. Keep it all in one area. You know, I'm not going to say, yes, if you pass it, I mean, other businesses are going to come in and say, okay, we want to do it too. You know, I'm sure that's going to happen. And I know that's what you guys are afraid of, but I mean, it's going to happen. So I guess it's just wherever you want to ordinance it and stuff. I mean, it's just the whole picture of the thing. I mean, it's just the jobs, to bring more people out here. And then if we can do that, then we could do, like, let's say we do almost like the fish concert. You remember the people that came here to the fish concert? I mean, you're talking hundreds of thousands of people. So, I mean, if we can do a facility and say, okay, we're going to have a weekend or a week of bands, and people can go out here and tent out, and then they could smoke, and then they, you know what I mean? It might bring 100,000 people here. And that's gonna make, you know, that 100,000 people is gonna spend $1 million. That's what they spent from the Fish concert in the area, $1 million in one weekend. So, I mean, if we can get this going, I'm not saying an every weekend thing, but it would be something that, because, I mean, you can have a band come here, okay, how many people are going to come to the band and camp out? But if you say you're looking, we're having like a 420 on a weekend, you're going to get hundreds of thousands of people just to come for that. And they're not coming for the bands, they're coming to have a good time, they're coming to have a party, and it's all going to be under control. I mean, that's what we're thinking about doing. I mean, that's, if we can get it passed. I guess that's all I can say.
I don't think the federal or the state guidelines are gonna let it be used in public.
Well, it's not
public
gonna
areas.
be, it wouldn't be a public thing. It would be like, you know, back in a fenced area where people come in, you gate them in, you do your ID, and you do.
It's still a public area.
It's still a public area, but, I mean, I'm sure that they're gonna.
I mean, there's arguments today about having these social clubs.
Yeah, the social clubs, yes.
Well, a social club is a public area, so that gives anybody the right to go in there. And, you know, there's people that don't want the marijuana in there when they're in there, so.
Well, it's
There's so many questions yet that the state has to deal
It's gonna be a
with.
social club for,
That also has to go along the lines though of the bar as well.
Yep.
It's a public area, people can drink there.
Yeah, because it's legal to drink there.
Exactly, so why not allow a club to be established?
Well, if they're gonna put licenses out and everything, the state, as I say, these are all unanswered questions
yeah,
yet.
these are all up in the air questions. I mean,
They're gonna
we're
be,
not gonna know until February.
I do believe that these are questions that can be asked at the town, at the next meeting, when it's brought up. Yes, no?
Oh, no, I'm talking about the state now. The laws have not even been written for all of this.
No, nothing.
Well, my name is
I
Blue
think
Labit
they're
Labilowa, and I work along with these good folks here. There's a couple of things I want to address, and one is, seems like there's a lot of fear, and the reason why there's fear is because there's ignorance, and the reason why there's ignorance is because I'm over 60 years old, and it's because we were raised in a time where marijuana was looked at as a very bad thing. With that being said, studies and such on the medical factor, yes, it's legal medically and such, but when you think about it on a recreational level, you have to think about there's a lot of social anxiety, and we have a lot of social anxiety nowadays. Unfortunately, the way the world is running now, it's just happening. You have more and more people that are on antidepressants and things of that nature, and I don't understand what the fear is when you can have that same person that is running the police station, or the person that is the head of a hospital, or they're taking these antidepressants and such because they have so much anxiety and such. That's perfectly okay, that's perfectly legal, and everybody can accept that. Valley of the Dolls, if you're old enough, you all remember that? Everybody was into pills, still are, apparently. This is something that's not in any way, shape, or form in the same manner. It can be used in the same manner, but it cannot be abused the way that those type of drugs can be abused. Also, on a social level, someone smoking a joint or a bowl or a blunt or whatever with somebody else, I have seen so many people who would not even speak to each other, never mind try to get along with each other, who have sat up and gone into a circle where people are smoking, and you could just stand there, and all of a sudden you'll have somebody go, hey, what's up? Well, okay. And all of a sudden you have conversations with people you would never ever dream of having a conversation with. I can't tell you the type of people that I have seen, doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs, I've seen them all do this. I don't see them getting into a car and taking out a family. I don't see them going over to kids and encouraging them to do that. I can remember when I was growing up seeing people going, hey, Johnny, go get me a drink out of the refrigerator. Johnny will go get a drink for Dad to go and pop open the top for me. Hey, take a sip, son. Let's go out on the camping trip. Mom's home. It's just us boys now. Go ahead, you can have a little beer. That's socially acceptable without it being legal, but it was socially acceptable. I can remember it. I'm sure each and every last one of you at some point or another have seen it. We need to get out of that old thinking. We have to see what's here, what's now, what isn't harmful as much as anything you do in excess of is going to be harmful. From the drugs that treat you from cancer to drinking. Anything in between. Excess of anything is not good for you. That's where the 21 years of age comes into play. Now you're of age. We deemed it across America, 21 years is the age of you to be able to determine what is right for you. And if we do that with our children and we have given this knowledge is power. You give them this, then hopefully they'll make the right. Personally, I have got 4 children, 10 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren. I would rather see them not as children, so don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I would rather see them as grown adults, smoke a bowl, and go and do what they have to do, than to see them go and take a drink and go and do what they have to do. The other thing I want to address is economics. I love this place. I think this is it's one of God's paradises here on earth. I love Caribou. I can't say enough good stuff about it. But it seems, again, because of the old ways of thinking, the old businesses that are here, the family-run businesses and such, they're afraid to let others come in for whatever the reasons are, personal reasons, afraid that they're going to take the money away from their pockets. I don't see that happening. You don't see it happening with these liquor stores. Like they said, you could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. Nobody's losing money. Everybody's doing business. Everybody's doing great. In this case, let's share the wealth. I mean, this really is something that, for lack of better words, it's better than a family running moonshine than it is, I mean, really. I think that we should give ourselves the opportunity to grow. I think one of the best ways for Caribou to grow is to take down some of those barriers, take down some of that old thinking, go and visit places that have got these places legalized if you can. Go and visit these places. Make yourself acquainted with with the people, with the places. See what you got going on there before you start making real decisions for the town and such. We just want to bring in money. We want to bring in money to ourselves. We want to bring in our money to the town. We want to bring in our money to the people that live here and work here. I mean, come on now. Caribou was founded at one time with dreams. There were things that were done here that weren't done in other places, and the people didn't sit up there and become the pioneers that they were in order to create this wonderful city. Where would Caribou be now if nobody took that chance and did something that nobody else wanted to do? So just keep all that, the pioneer spirits and the things that created Caribou to make it what it used to be. And I have to say what it used to be because it's no longer that. You know, I came up here and I prided myself saying, you know, that this was the last city in Maine. And oh, I was like always telling people, yeah, I live up there. And this is a wonderful place. Come on, we want to bring people back. Share Caribou with the rest of the people. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Anyone else?
My question is, I think it comes down to just dollars and cents, right? We got an opportunity to make money here, increase the tax base. Things you haven't even talked about is the possibilities of recycling. We've got the stems from the marijuana plants. They can eventually be recycled and used for paper products. The potential down the road is what I don't think you're seeing today. You have a potential to increase your tax base. You have potential to increase your education, more money, more education to prevent people from doing drugs that they shouldn't do. I think if it's controlled right, governed right, we would be passing up on a great opportunity to help our town.
Renee.
Sam Clark.
Anyone else?
My name is Tanya Rasmussen, and I beat cancer twice. And I did have the help of medical marijuana, and it was better than taking the prescription medical drugs that they want you to take. Instead, I smoked marijuana. And I beat breast cancer at 13 years old. I'm a 30-year survivor as of May. And I think it's the greatest drug out there, and it's not making people get DUIs, it's not making people get into accidents, it's not making people go out and steal it from people to go get it. We've had such a bad scare with all of the other drugs in this world that we need help, and we need to bring this into our world. The schools can benefit from it. Colorado has, right now, in fact, for every student that graduates from high school, a pot fund for them to go to college. They don't pay it back. It's free for them because Colorado wanted to do that for their students. And I think that would be great if we could put some of this tax money towards it and helping understand more about drugs and other drugs in our world. There's been too many overdoses lately, and I see the news all the time. And I'm scared for everybody else out there who doesn't understand it, because once they do, it's kind of like a miracle. Really, it really is. Those people on Suboxone, all that crap, if they just smoked a little bit of marijuana, they might feel a little better. It helped me, and I am a two cancer survivor, plus I have lupus. I've been through a lot medically, and it's helped me. And I thank you for listening.
Thank you.
This will help.
Hi. My name's Kayla Bossy, 1386 Presque Isle Road. Firstly, I am opposed of this ordinance. Give you a little bit of background. I was born and raised in Caribou. I've only not lived in Caribou for 3 to 4 years when I went to Fort Kent for college. So I came back to my hometown. I don't think this is actually going to better us in any way. This is something that we could get on the train with and be part of a big industry. I understand, and I actually agree with you that, my main concern is the underage usage. I was talking to one of my family members, and what was said was, in your fridge, have you guys made Jello shots before? Same concept as having brownies on your counter. Don't blame the substance rather than bad parenting. What parent is going to leave their Jello shots out versus their pot brownies? It's the same concept. Don't blame the cannabis part. Blame the parents. Another thing I want to say is, shame on me. This is my first time ever coming to one of these meetings. I did watch the meeting online back in January. One of the things that was said was that cannabis is 4 times stronger. That's what it was claimed on in January. I didn't look it up. I just went with it. Even with it being 4 times stronger, in the end, you can't overdose. I completely trust the Caribou Police Department in making sure that people are obeying by the laws. You have one of the best cops. I lived in Fort Kent. You say the name Doug Bell, and everyone's like a deer in headlights. You're one of the best cops here. And honestly, my personal opinion, the best in all of Aroostook County is the Caribou PD. I have personally dealt with Presque Isle, Caribou, and Madawaska for business, and then Caribou and Fort Kent for personal. And I completely think that this is something that we could better our future. I left to go to college to come back to not that many businesses. I'm working at Tim Hortons. I love my job. I am getting done to go to this industry. It's something that we could learn from. And I think putting up this ordinance is just going to make us behind on the industry. Even if you wanted later down the road to eventually get on the ball with it, we're going to be that much further behind. That's all.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Cody Cosgrove, 497 Sweden Street here in Caribou. I'm against this, first and foremost, just for the simple fact I'm an addict, recovering, always will be, from heroin and cocaine and crack. Marijuana helps me on a daily get through life, not only to be able to calm down and think straight and get my thoughts going correctly, it allows me to eat, it allows me to sleep. Without pot, I wouldn't be up here. I wouldn't be working on my second certification through NM. I'd probably be down in Bangor, either dead or doing stupid shit, but pardon my French. I just can't express how important it is for people like me to have the ability to go down the road to Richardson Reynolds and get medical marijuana or just recreational marijuana without having to deal with going down to Joe Schmo down the road and dealing with not knowing what I'm getting in my supply. You know, it's just, in my opinion, you guys would be taking a step backwards by putting this in place. And that's all I really have to say about it.
Just so you understand, this has nothing to do with your situation today. You can still go down there and
yeah,
get
I know, but I'm saying for people like me or my mother who can't go there. Like, I'm not saying as a medical reason, like...
Rather than having to go to the black market.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't know what you're getting. Somebody can sell you something moldy.
But you have medical use of it.
For personal, I'm not actually on any list of anything.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I treat it myself rather than going down to Acadia and getting prescribed Seroquel, Adderall, all these other drugs that made me zone out. I dropped out of school when I was a senior because of these kinds of drugs. And I've been sober for close to 2 years now, working on my second certification through NM. And it's only because of pot that I've been able to stay clean.
Thank you. Anyone else? Last chance. Any questions from council? Any comments from council? Councilor Martin?
Yeah, I want to thank you people for presenting your case very well. And I'm in the minority here, but I support you people. I think you came up with a lot of good reasons why we should. And I think it's too bad that you didn't make this presentation to the planning board. You know, because maybe you would have changed something at that point, but you've done a good job presenting your case. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask a question? Have you guys done any research on the possibility of the money that it would bring into Caribou? Have you done anything to see what the potential profit would be for this town? Has anybody sat down and actually crunched some figures?
I would have to say probably no.
I mean, really, before you can make a decision, you got to make sure how much money you're throwing away.
Exhaust every option, every bit of information you can. Sometimes that boat is waving that flag to get on it, and a lot of people miss it and then kick themselves in the behind later.
The Declaration of Independence was made in marijuana.
Yes, it was.
I mean, our country was based on marijuana.
Was.
All I know is I constantly see advertisements in the paper, and I'm constantly seeing these posters talking about bringing business into Caribou, bringing business to Caribou. It seems like every 6 months there's a new business closing. I mean, all these places are just closing.
Just lost a restaurant.
I don't understand how Caribou even is where they're at now in order to even keep you guys on council, because what is there left to run?
No.
Seriously, you've got school, you've got a hospital. What else?
Gas station.
We don't even have restaurants here.
Yeah, we just lost one.
Well, I think there's.
We'll keep on losing them.
I think there's a number of good restaurants here. So.
What? Yeah, I can open up an awesome
But outside of the restaurant, the baseline is you're losing businesses because there's nothing here for anybody else to have. You know, you got 5,
I don't know. I mean,
10 jobs.
Sitel has come into Caribou.
And Sitel lays off every 6 months.
Yeah, and then gets other contracts and hires on. It's a cycle.
Yeah,
We all
our
understand.
industry,
How many have come up here and
yes,
failed?
our
How many
industry
jobs has it brought
is
into
not a
the area?
layoff. You won't,
I see
you
a
won't
lot
see
of young
layoffs, you
people
won't see
leaving
progress.
because of no jobs.
Yeah.
There's nothing up here.
You will only see progress in the industry that this is.
Do
There's
you know
always
that
room
that
for
industry
expansion.
can be run from everything from anyone 21 years old to 80, 90 years old? Like I said, I'm 60. I plan on being on this until the day the good Lord says good night.
Any other comments from council?
I have a comment I'll make, and it's, I heard a lot, you've done a good job with your presentation. I've heard a lot about medical marijuana, which isn't the issue. Also, you have the freedom to grow your own. I don't really have a lot of strong feelings one way or the other, but my decision is going to be based on the election that took place last November when it was put to the voters, do they want to legalize marijuana? And in Caribou, 62% said no. And that's why, at least I feel that part of my responsibility is to do what the citizens and the voters who come out and actually cast their ballot. And that's swaying me.
I got something to say about that too.
I also do.
When I voted no myself, it wasn't, I believe a lot of people said no, not because they didn't want marijuana in the town. It was just how they written the bills. You know what I mean? Like how they were going to regulate it, and then how they were going to try to have big money people come in here and just push all the caregivers and everything out.
Yes.
Like it wasn't nothing to do with saying no to marijuana. It was just pretty much big business. No to the big businesses. I had a little campaign. It was saying say no 1-to-1. Keep the big business out of the state. Keep Maine. That's a lot of reason why I believe why a lot of people voted no. That was I voted no.
There is a good majority of the community that is against it. I'm not saying there is people that did vote against no for the big businesses and stuff, but I'm pretty sure that 62%, you can take, I bet 50% of that is people who are actually against it. Because I myself, when I was in school, I had to do a lot of debating, and I actually had a time where I had to debate against marijuana. And there's a lot of things that if you look on it and you see that they're against, they're not any facts. They're just all speculation. And you know, there's like I forgot what her name was, but she said about the Jello shots and the kids and the edibles and that is, I would say that's pretty much the only concern that you would ever have with that. And if it's regulated to the point where it's only in private shops or private locations, businesses outside of the outskirts of town, it would be the parents' fault 100% if a child ever got any hold of edibles or anything around medical or recreational use of marijuana, because it's like someone said before, it's here, it's going to be here, it's been here. I guess the Constitution was written on it, so it's not going anywhere. And I just feel it would be great for me as a young man who's going to live here for the rest of my life, because I love it here.
Before marijuana was legal in Maine,
I would like for you guys
98% of the marijuana came
help
from
me
the
out.
cartels in Mexico. Legalize it, it stops. They lose billions of dollars a year.
Well, marijuana is legalized in Maine. Or,
Right, before it was,
Yeah.
90% of it came from Mexico, the cartels.
Well, if that's the case, we can
And
also.
you say no again, they're gonna get it illegally. And that's gonna come from the cartels. And I think that's pretty stupid for the government to let happen.
It is legal. That's not the point. That's not what we're debating here.
To make it illegal in this
We're not.
town.
We're not.
they're gonna
We're not
buy
making it illegal in the
We're not
town.
making it illegal in this town. It isn't illegal. You
That's
can
what I'm
use it.
talking about. They're gonna have to go elsewhere for it and buy it illegally.
No,
Shut
no,
it
no,
down.
legally.
You can still have your own.
And I hope everyone understands that, you know, if we allowed it in Caribou, it's not a situation where we can just say, we're going to allow it outside, on the outskirts of Caribou in your facility or whatever. You know, we can't start letting some people sell it retail
That we
and
understand.
others not. I mean, it's,
I'm just saying that that the establishment that we have, it would be in one area.
I understand that
And
part,
that
but
way
as I'm
people-
saying, we can't control it and say, that's the only place that can do
Oh,
it.
that's not what I'm saying. I understand that.
I understand the point of
What we want to do.
what effect would it have because of where you're located, but
What we want to do is keep it on the black market. Because as you were saying, people, you can grow your own. But not everybody is smart enough to grow their own. Not has the capability to grow their own. You know, they don't have the space, they don't have the knowledge, or the money. It takes a lot of money in order to grow 3 marijuana plants. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of nutrients. A lot of people don't have that. Also, there's a lot of risk, like there's risk of somebody not knowing how to set their garden, burn the house down. Okay, we have fire suppression systems, all that other stuff. We have, like I said, it's a place to keep the black market from taking over. Because you can have 30, 40, 50 people in town, and they all have their garden. You don't know what it's for. It could be moldy. You don't know. A professional facility, and I'm just saying, with this ordinance removed, we'll have a safe place that'll defeat the black market.
Well, one thing about the facility being outside of town also is like, you got places right across the street here over at Hannaford's that sell liquor and beer. Kids are allowed to go in there with their parents to go and buy the facility out of town. You're not allowed to bring children in there. You're not allowed to do anything that you're allowed to do in these other places that provide alcohol.
Yep.
We're not providing alcohol.
But as I say, we can't control where it can be sold. If we say it's going to be sold retail in Caribou, I mean, 6 spots could open up right around town here.
We could
I've
control
never
it.
been a fan of
Yeah, that's
anyone
one
selling
thing.
alcohol
It's
where kids
always-
can get to it.
What, couldn't you put a control on how many you would allow in the town?
You can.
Yeah, you could.
Yes, I
You
don't
can
see why you
control
can't
how
do
many,
that.
not
I mean,
where,
just
but
like
you
you
can
can allow
control
how
how
many
many, just like this.
different
You can control the liquor licenses around here. You can only get a certain amount around here.
Why can't
That's the
you do
same exact thing with
the
marijuana you can
facilities?
do.
X amount of
The
licenses.
Certain
town, the
amount.
town itself can make a lot of money just from the taxes alone.
And you can make an ordinance that it can't be inside
What
within the
what
city.
taxes are those?
Whatever you guys want
Marijuana
to.
taxes being sold.
What, you don't,
We get not a
you don't
cent.
tax the alcohol either?
We don't get a cent for that.
The state does.
Now, there's a space
State
in there
does.
for
Okay, well
city,
then-
city
Well, the
ordinance.
municipality doesn't get
There's no
anything, that's what I'm
provision by
saying.
the state.
So Caribou can't make a lot of money on the taxes.
But
no.
then, you know, the taxes that come out of people working for it, it helps all the way around.
Yes.
It helps all the way around.
lingo, right? Whether
Right,
they allow
you
us to
can't.
tax or.
You guys will be able to put a tax on top of it.
Excuse me, we've got about 10 conversations.
We can't do that, I'm sorry.
Wait, the town doesn't make any tax revenue off any of the business here in town. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm saying it doesn't, it can't make any tax on marijuana.
Why can't?
Why can't?
If
You can tax any
If
other
there, yes, if
business,
it's a
why
retail
can't?
establishment, the
You do
retail establishment will
alcohol,
charge tax.
I just got taxed.
Yeah.
One person at a time here, please.
Well, I just got taxed by you guys with the Better Business thingy, whatever it's called, like that. I don't know. They came in my facility. I showed them everything. I ain't got nothing to hide. They counted all the lights I had, all the fans I had, everything I was
Oh, yeah,
supposed to use. And
there's a business tax, yes.
yeah. So
But there is,
I mean, just think about that. Like, if you think about,
Why doesn't that apply to the business tax then?
That's what I don't understand.
look, let me finish saying what I'm saying. All right. So if I got like a big facility, and I mean these lights are expensive. They're like $500 a light. You know what I mean? So say if I got 300 lights in there just alone, y'all gonna make a lot of money just off the lights. And then I got taxed for my fans, and I had paid $18K for my AC units. They taxed me on that. So I mean, just think about all the money that's being taxed.
I understand all that, I'm just clarifying the point that
Yeah.
selling of marijuana does not create any revenue for the city here. Whether, it's just, the state, yes, I think they proposed 10%.
Business it does, because
I think
you
they
hire
proposed
people.
10% tax,
So what you're
but,
saying is you
Hold
have to
on.
open a state facility, not a city's facility.
what?
So it would be a state.
No.
Well,
Then
you
how
have
would
to, it's not making
I don't
sense. You're
understand.
saying it's not the state, it's not the city, so how would it go then?
The tax that is received, when you sell marijuana, say you have to charge 10% sales tax, say, okay? That sales tax goes to the state.
All right?
That does not go to the
So
city.
business-
The only
Okay.
taxes that you're talking about are property taxes we would be able to collect, but the sales tax on the marijuana itself goes to the state.
So
We don't
with that being
benefit.
said, the other businesses here, that's all they're giving you is just the, property tax? Is
Yeah.
that the only?
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
get
we don't
anything
get
from any
sales
sales
tax.
tax.
Sorry?
We get nothing from any sales tax of any kind.
How do you?
And if on a retail facility, you can actually still your own mill rate on that type of business. As a council, you guys are able to do that. No?
No.
I'm trying to find out how the town survives.
Exactly, like they don't give you any authority.
There are states where you are allowed to locally, a city can locally have their own sales tax, but that isn't in Maine.
You can't do that in Maine for anything?
No.
Oh, okay, so that's
I was looking at
so
the
it might be in
ordinance
the law
or whatever.
So we just shoot answers, and then like everybody's supposed to be quiet. Or you like, can you say, hey, me, and then everybody's gonna be quiet and let me speak? You hear that, community? What's that? Let me speak, right? Or are you guys gonna, as soon as I say an idea and you get one, you're gonna throw out yours? This is what we're here for. We can all do it. Take turns. Stop the floor.
Go right ahead. We can stand up.
This is a debate. I'm not gonna keep standing up and sitting down. But anyway, like you said, it's all the money is that if you sell a pot, it's gonna go to the state. I don't see the difference either. Even if they got it misconstrued saying that it was for the town, for the state, for the town, it doesn't matter. All our roads are getting better, our bridges, our buildings, everything is school. This is getting built up, schools. I mean, it's just, it's the state. So that money is getting regulated to the state. That's more money that the market that is not here. That money is not here. It's not. It's not. It's just imaginary, or like they said, it's in the black market. So if you take a hold of that market and put it in your state revenue, you can get state tax money, so that you get better roads, better schools. And I'm pretty sure if Caribou's like the main front, I'm not. I don't know much about taxes and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure the state will give you like a little, incentive for having so much revenue to the state. Right, you guys see it like that?
It doesn't work like that, but I understand
Well,
your point.
I'm
It
pretty
goes to
sure
the
some
state.
schools in states.
Yeah, the money
you
goes
get
to the
better
state,
schools
yes.
Than,
I'm just clarifying.
So I'm saying if the town's booming, they're gonna have good schools.
We're getting a new school and the state's paying for it.
Yeah. Just to give you another comment that you're probably not aware of, speeding tickets that are issued here in Caribou, we don't get anything for those. That all goes to the state. All the fines for speeding and that go to the state. They don't go to Caribou. So,
why you guys get up there?
similar situation.
No, but what Caribou gets, if you get half the jobs you say you could create, what Caribou gets is people living in Caribou, buying a house, paying property tax, paying excise tax, which we keep, property tax we get to keep. That's what your argument is. You bring people in, they gotta live somewhere, they have to shop somewhere.
If it's
Let's
gonna
put
be,
people back to work by doing it.
if it's gonna be a big deal about the ordinance and stuff and where you guys would put it, I mean, think you guys put limit on, no, we don't want it right in town, you have to have so many acres to do it, or is there some way you can do it that way, or?
You have to have a certain amount of acres.
I mean, you don't want somebody buying Pizza Hut and having to grow on Pizza Hut, right in one town. You know what I mean? I mean, there's ways that we should be able to make it work. That's saying, okay, big deal. Let's say if we get it started up here, you guys, let's say you guys say yes, okay. We're not saying, we don't even know what the state of Maine's gonna let us do. Like you said, I mean, we don't know what they're gonna rate up here next February, what we can do, what we can't do. But if we get it into effect, and then you have people, okay, so let's say you got thousands of acres of farmlands around here. We say yes. I mean, these other companies are gonna look into this hard. They're gonna come buy this. And they're gonna get ready for it. Even if it doesn't work, they're still gonna come by to get ready for it. I mean, it's happening in Holton, it's happening in every place they approve this.
Because they're only going to allow so many rec stores. It's only 800 square feet. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be less than 200 of these facilities. So say you got 200, I'm pretty sure Portland and all these big cities are going to get everything. I mean, Holton already probably going to have just that one. So if we get on board and get it now, we'll be one of the first to get it. So that way, once we do get it, I mean, people really aren't going to have no choice but to come up here because there's going to be one up here. the closest one's gonna be in Holton, and then the closest one's probably gonna be in Bangor. You kind of get what I'm saying? So,
Is there some language in the state or something that says the sooner you put your application in, that you'll get it, or what?
Over there, all right, in Holton. I went to the city council meeting in Holton. Hold on, everybody, let me say this right here. This is very important. I went to the city council meeting in Holton, and Hillary Lister, she's a lobbyist and everything, and what she was telling me, there are already people right now behind the scene with all this big money. They're coming in here and they're looking for the cities that are saying yes. So the ones that are saying yes right now, they're going to, and they're putting big facilities in this right now. People not knowing about it, but obviously money talks. They're gonna go with whatever they're doing now. So basically what I'm saying is if we don't jump on and get on it now, then there's not gonna be any more rec store applications or whatever to do it up here by the time it does go, you know, legal in February or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like that's pretty much why I'm here today, so I can get on it right now. I got investors who are willing to invest in me, but I can't really do anything if you guys say no. Because what if I get these guys here and I put all these millions of dollars into this and then, you know, it doesn't go through, and then it's just all that money wasted. You know what I mean? So I'm not really trying to invest a lot of money into it if y'all guys are going to keep the ban on it. You know what I mean?
The facilities are bringing tax dollars because you're going to be able to tax the property differently when there's more facilities on it.
And I seen too, when I tried to do a little research on it, y'all have like an ordinance. If I was to set up a facility, I gotta pay $500 per facility just to get it, and then talk to the planning board or something like that. If I look in your ordinance, I have to pay $500. Some state, not states, but some cities got it. You gotta pay like $1 or whatever per square foot. So say if y'all did it that way and changed it, which y'all could, that's $30,000 right there, or however big it's gonna be. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much all I gotta say. Yeah.
Chance to make a lot of lucrative. It's a lucrative decision, really. One of the best interests of the town, unless you want to live in a ghost town until you pass.
All right, any more discussion?
I don't think anyone really made a comment off your, what was the numbers about Caribou?
62%.
I feel like Caribou is we're pretty old. We have a medium age of 44, which is above average in the state, so I feel like that might have to do a part with it. And then, of course, not everyone goes out and vote, of course, and especially the younger generation, it's harder to get them out.
There you go.
And I think that has a lot to do with it, so hopefully you're open-minded with that thinking.
But see, that's how things get done, and that's how things get decided, is for the people to go out and vote.
Right.
So let's ask a question here right now.
Who went out and voted?
That could vote.
How many here actually?
How many didn't vote?
I voted. I wasn't here. I voted this here. I was definitely voting.
I'm just curious how many didn't vote, because that's part of the answer.
If I was to vote, I would have said no, to be honest with you, because like I said, I had a little campaign to have everybody vote no. So, like I said, that's pretty much why I believe a lot of people say no. It was not because, of the marijuana, it was just how the bill was written.
The language of the crime.
That was the only reason why I believe a lot of people say no, and that was the reason why I said no, and what I told everybody else to say no to. You know what I mean? So.
All right, any more comments? We'll now close the public hearing at 7:04. And now, council has the authority or the ability to act on this tonight if they choose. What are your wishes?
I move to accept this presented from the planning board.
I'll second it.
Motion to accept this as presented by the planning board. All those in favor? Opposed? It's accepted on a 4-2 vote. Again, I thank you all for coming, and I think you gave a very good presentation, but I think the comment made by Councilor Terrio is a big factor. The majority of the people here just didn't want it.
That
was my fact. I think you guys made a big mistake.
Thank everybody for coming.
Thank you for listening to us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Again, see?
You're hyphenated.
Next item is the 2017 bid results. I imagine councils have read them all and looked at them. Does anybody have any questions about any of the bids? Can we get a motion on the bids?
Move to accept recommendations for the 2017 culvert, street paint, shim patch, paving, sand, salt, crushed stone, chip seal.
I'll second that.
Did you have a question?
Seconded by Jody.
Did we not get any bids at all on the salt?
No bids on the salt yet. It's too early for the salt.
Oh, okay.
That'll come out later.
What, did I say salt? I meant
Yes.
not Satan. Sorry.
This fall.
Can I play devil's advocate for a second?
Did you sign it?
How come you didn't, Mr. Willett, how come you didn't recommend that Sherwin-Williams, which we have locally, not get the bid over the company from Massachusetts on a difference of less than $300?
If you choose to do Sherwin-Williams.
No, but you did that last time. I'm just wondering why you didn't do it this time.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Well, for one thing, it isn't coming from Sherwin-Williams in town here. It's coming from Sherwin-Williams corporate. But if you prefer to have Sherwin-Williams, I'll be glad to use.
No, I was against what you proposed last time.
Anyway, we have a motion and a second to accept all these bids. All of those in favor? Unanimous, passed. Woodland Code Enforcement. We decided at the last meeting to forego doing code enforcement for Woodland. I don't think we have to react to this. I mean, we've already...
You're going to be at the meeting tomorrow.
We've already gone through it, so
Yes.
I made that decision. The next item is online tax assessment data for Caribou. We had asked Penny Thompson to come back with some information and quotes on putting our tax assessment online, which she did. We have two different quotes from CAI Technologies, and the other one is it's through our own software system here, the Trio system. Paris Local Government, I guess it's called. It's a little bit difference in the cost. One I think is $4,900 to do in total. Yeah, one is $4,900 and the other is $2,670.
No, I think it's really $4,100. I think it's $2,670 to do the conversion and then $1,500 annual fee, but I'm not sure. Is that the case?
It sounds like the first 12 months is in that, in the quote that you have. The first 12 months is in there. And then after that, it says $1,500, but I think it's actually going to be $1,920 because we're having sketches and pictures in there also.
Having what?
Sketches and pictures.
Okay.
Which is something that they always talk about that they need. That's why we send them the cards, is for the sketch and the picture. And Brian Colton is here today, and he is an appraiser and one of our frequent users. And if you have questions, he'd be more than happy to answer them.
Which do you prefer? Which bid do you think?
I think
I'm
that
not
we'll.
talking price, I'm talking
The CAI product has a lot more functionality. They can do a lot of different things. They have tabs. We can pull from Trio different reports and load them into those tabs. Harris is easier because we don't have to do anything to get that going. The Trio one, because they'll pull right from our data. We don't have to do any extracts, anything like that to get it ready for that product.
You didn't answer my question.
I'm a politician. We
You're the one that's
say we
gonna
love
work.
everything.
You're the one that's gonna work with it.
Yeah, no, they're both good products. I would say the CAI one, and that would also, in our office, we also do a lot of work with the planning board and code enforcement. I don't know if you had a chance to play around at all with the CAI product, but you can select an address, like say we had something on the planning board agenda. You can select that, and there's a tool that you can automatically find out. You can put in a parameter, 100 feet, 500 feet. When we send out notices to something on the agenda, we need 500 feet. You can put it in there, you hit a button, and it will print your labels.
Of the abutters.
Like that, yeah, of the abutters. It's that fast. It usually takes me a good hour just to get the labels ready. So I'll be able to do that in 5 minutes.
With the CAI?
With the CAI, yeah.
So there's a savings.
That's.
How many times a year do you have to do that?
Probably 4 or 5. But it always happens at the last minute because someone decides they need it. Oh, our deadline is tomorrow. We got to do this today. So you have to stop everything and do that.
Well, that's their deadline, not yours.
It
Gotta
becomes
remember that.
mine, yeah. I need one of those signs that say, you know, poor planning on your part doesn't constitute
Exactly.
an emergency on my part, but we try to be accommodating.
And again, I went online and looked at these, and
And thank you, Chief, for sending those.
there was no question. I thought, there was more information here. But I thought there was enough information here on the Trio one that is required.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's more information, and yeah, assessors and that may like it better because there's more information, but the assessors are not paying for it.
That's right.
And they don't
that's
have
right.
to maintain it.
That's
Well,
right.
I would beg to differ with that, but we'll get to that when you go out.
Oh, you want to pay for it?
We already are paying for it.
Oh, do they pay a fee?
They do. I mean, every time I send them a card at the end of the year, we keep track of that, and we send them a bill at the end of the year.
Send them a bill for what?
For the copies of the tax cards we
Okay,
emailed.
and that we're allowed to charge for copies of information, okay?
Everybody
So,
pays for that. That's
right,
you're not paying for
everybody
anything
pays for
special.
Yep. And actually, quite frankly, not that it should be more. The amount of time that Tony and Penny spend feeding information to those of us who use it, I don't know what it is, but it's got to be shocking. I know
Oh, I don't think that we're against doing this. It's a matter of which one do we do.
Oh, absolutely.
And my position is pretty simple. I know this is a little more basic, the Trio one, but again, Trio is our system here. You don't have a lot of work to get this up and running. It's going to be a deal like that, and
Easier to use.
Believe me, we will be happy with either one. Either one is better than what we have now, and we'll make the best of whatever resource we're given.
Penny, which one of the two allows for more expansion going down the road, though? I mean,
I would say CAI.
as the city grows, CII's got more capability to overlay with Public Works, EMS, all of that.
The planning board is working on a new zoning map. Some of the callers and visitors I've had to the office have said it would be nice if we could do a data layer with zoning. Didn't you say Holton has that now?
Works and zoning.
Yeah.
And maybe someday in the future we can do that, but I don't see it's necessary to provide all that information beyond, the property cards and the taxes there, and what little bit more this will do.
We're talking $2,000. Why don't we do it right?
I was going to say, it's going to cost even more 5 years from now if you want to expand and overlay. It's going to be even more then.
What do we need expand and overlay for?
The city's going to grow.
Well, I think
Those of you who don't believe
there's
it,
already capabilities within
if the city's going to grow that much,
from
we'll have the extra money to just drop this one and fit in the other one.
Right. I mean,
That's
I understand what
about
Dave's saying,
one or
too.
two houses. If we get that much growth, we
with
pay
that.
for the
That's
second
not
one.
worry.
We will be grateful for anything, believe me.
I'm going to make a motion to accept the N. Harris Computer Corporation bid or product.
I'll second that. We have a motion to accept the Harris quote. All those in favor? Opposed?
How many votes did you get?
Got 5 that were in favor.
Well, you didn't give me a chance to say that if we vote this down, I'll make a motion to pick the other one. So I've said that now, so that's not going to phase anything. Okay.
Were you opposed to this one?
I'm opposed to this one, Penny. I'm in favor of the other one. So my no vote is not.
Well, the other part is, where are you gonna take the money from to pay for that? Because that's something I'll have to know too.
Well, you know, I guess probably, just off the top of my head, we put aside that money for reassessment every year.
Yeah, we do, and we have.
And this is gonna save you an awful lot of time that you'll be able to work on that more.
I would hope so. That's.
So I would take it out of there.
We have 50,500 in that right now.
Yeah. I would take it out of there. Do we need a motion for that? No.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, under other business, we still have 2 items to deal with from the public input here. And Dwayne, we'll start with you, I guess. Now, my understanding is the number that you got was 464807. You have that available to be paid tomorrow. And we'll need a motion from council to...
I make a motion, we accept it.
I'll second it.
Have we received any bids on that property?
It's not out yet.
It's not in the paper yet.
Is it going to be on Wednesday?
I'll pull it.
You can pull it
Yeah.
tomorrow?
I make a motion.
We had a motion and a second, didn't we?
Yeah.
All right. All those in favor of accepting the 464807? Opposed? 5 to 1.
It's yours.
Come in tomorrow and
I'll be in after work. I get out of work at 3, but I'll stop in.
look after it.
Yep, she's the one I've been paying. So. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you all very much
you.
in your time.
Don't forget to apply for your homestead exemption.
Mr. Tibbs. And now run by, what is your scenario?
Situation is, I took a little longer to make an agreement, and I needed, I believe, the council until the 1st, and I'll go down and pay $500 from the 2nd, and they'll give me the check that day according to the letter, and I'll bring it back up to the city hall no later than the 3rd, but depending on what time. Yes. After the 1st, yes.
What was the original motion? Deadline?
There was supposed to be $2,000 paid on May the 1st. And then 4 payments of $350
By the 5th.
with the first payment on May the 5th and then on the 5th of each month after, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
We'll be paying $500 on May 5th.
So what is the scenario now?
$500 May 5th, and I'll be bringing a check for $1,350. And June, July, and August we'll be paying $350. And I believe that should clear the $3,400 in rear.
There's an extra payment due.
Yeah, there's something
You've
missing
already
here.
paid 500, correct? Did you say you've already paid 500?
I paid $500 a week ago.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
so that's
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
basically,
it's down to 20,
Right. I'm sorry.
he
I'm
just needs a
sorry.
couple more days.
is that the right number, do we know?
And you have checked with ACAP and they're willing to?
There's a
That's
letter.
a confirmed.
They have
So-
the check.
You need a motion,
So you're,
give him a couple more days.
he's up to the, okay.
I just wanted to come back tonight because I know the 1st was the deadline, and I wanted the city council to be aware of what's going on.
So,
Just wait a minute now. Let me, so it's $500 he's paid. So that's $1,500, but they're paying $1,350.
Correct.
So $1,350 on May 2nd from ACAP.
Correct.
That leaves another, the $150 balance to be added on to his first payment for May 5th.
Correct.
So instead of paying $350 on May 5th, he'll
500.
pay $500.
Right.
Got it.
I just had to have it
Nope.
for right in the
So-
minute. And then it will be June 5th and July 5th
is that, we need to put that in the motion?
for 3,
August
In
5th.
August, June, July, and August of $350.
Yeah. So, I need to make I'm gonna make a motion that we give him till the 5th for the first payment, and that if you, every month on the 5th, you have to make your payments,
Yes, sir.
or the deal is off.
Well, why do you want to say that? The deal is off.
Well, no, I'm just saying, if he doesn't pay by the 5th, I mean.
We said the last time, if he didn't
Okay.
do it, the deal was
So,
off.
I'm gonna rescind my motion.
Why do you want to say the deal was off?
We're gonna give, I make a motion, we give Lloyd till the 5th to come in and straighten everything out.
Second.
So what is the motion?
We're gonna give Mr. Tibbs till the 5th. Instead
what?
of, to come in and make his payments.
To get this
The
all
new
settled.
deal.
To get,
Well, let's make the motion what it is. So what is going to be paid by the 5th?
The
1350
the
and
1350 and the 500.
Okay,
By the
so
5th.
$1,850 paid by the 5th, and then
He has on the 5th of every month until it's paid up, right? That's
how much?
Which
$350.
4 monthly payments of 350?
No, 3 monthly
3
payments.
months.
Oh, 3 months.
Yeah, 3 monthly payments.
Initially, it was 4 months at $350, but we're trying to, and it's possible we might be able to get this paid off within a couple months, because I want to put this behind us.
Does everybody understand the motion now? All right, all those in favor? Opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Do you think you'll be back again to
No,
change?
sir.
Okay,
No, sir, believe me. Thank you.
thank you. Any other business for tonight? We have a regular meeting coming up on Monday, May the 8th. Another regular meeting on June the 12th. We only have the one meeting in May?
We do.
Reason for that?
So that was set up before
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
We're gonna end up having another one, so we're gonna put a warrant out for the
All right.
election.
Well, we don't have it on the agenda. We're going into executive session.
Correct.
Move to go to executive session, Title 1, Chapter 13, 4056A, personnel.
All those in favor?
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, David.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
guys.
Yeah.
Don't start.